Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about the time that I got my very first speeding ticket, and I'm hoping that it is the only one that I ever get. So yeah, let's get started, I guess. As you guys know, I live in Chico now, and my actual home is Sacramento. So for Thanksgiving break, I had gone back home. Then it comes to the time when I have to come back to Chico because Thanksgiving break is over and, you know, gotta come back for school. So I leave Monday morning. It's actually on my sister's birthday that I leave. And I didn't have class until 5:30 that day, and I only had one class. So I left around 10:30 maybe. Yeah, so I'm just, you know, driving. I have my GPS on because I still don't know the full way to get back to Chico. But see, the thing is, when I have my GPS on, you know how it says, like, oh, you'll arrive by this time? See, one thing I do is I always try to beat the time that it says I'm gonna be arriving. So, you know, I was stepping on the gas a little bit, but it wasn't like a lot, you know, like speed limit here in California usually on a freeway or a highway is 60. I was going like 80, maybe 90 at some point, but like that's pretty normal. Like especially here in California, people drive pretty fast. Like in Sacramento on the freeway, everybody is over the speed limit. I drove to the Bay Area not that long ago. People were driving even faster than they do in Sacramento, and I was like, whoa, I feel like I'm gonna get in a car accident here because people drive really fast out there. So on the way to Chico, there's only 2 lanes, and then at a point there's only 1 lane. So at this point, I was in 2 lanes, and you know, I was speeding a little bit. I think I was going like 90 at the time. I was on the 2nd lane from the right, and that's like the faster lane because like the slower cars or whatever, they tend to be on the right lane. So I was on the left lane, and I was coming up to this truck that was not going as fast as I was, and I was about to, you know, slow down because I obviously did not want to hit the truck. So I was like slowing down a little bit, but then the truck sees that I'm coming and I'm coming a little bit faster, so they decide to, I guess, be courteous, and they decide to get out of the way. So the truck turns on its signal and changes to the right lane so that I can keep, you know, going as fast as I'm going. So I'm like, oh wow, so nice of them. So then at this point I had already slowed down a little bit anyways, but I was still going pretty fast, especially because the truck got out of my way. But as soon as the truck gets out of my way, I see that there is a cop car parked on the side of the highway, just chilling there. And my automatic thought to do is to press on the brake because I knew I was going a little bit too fast. And also, side note here, I forgot to say, it was a little bit rainy that day, so I think that's when they enforce the speed limit even more. Yeah, but I was just already so close to the cop that I passed it while I was trying to slow down, so it was already kind of too late for me. My nose is like running. Every time I do my makeup, my nose runs. Is that just a thing that happens to me, or does it happen to anyone else? Because I just finished doing my makeup and my nose is running. It's really weird. Anyways, so I passed the cop, and I'm just hoping that the cop is like nice, or that he wasn't looking my way when I passed, or, you know, I was just hoping that I was gonna get away with it. So I'm like looking behind my rearview mirror, and I'm just like staring at the cop car, and I'm like, oh my god, please don't move. And then I see that it turns its wheels, and it's like waiting for cars to pass so that it can get on the freeway, and I'm like, oh no. And I was coming up to an exit, and I honestly thought about taking the exit to like try to get away, I guess, before it saw me, but I didn't. And then it managed to get on the freeway, and it caught up to me, and it was behind me for like a good 10 seconds. And I was like, please just have it be a coincidence that the cop happened to get on the freeway right when I passed. Let's just hope he didn't see that I was speeding. And 10 seconds later, he flashes his lights, and I'm like, fantastic. And see, I felt even worse because that truck that got out of the way for me to continue going, they were probably laughing at me because they saw I was speeding, and they saw that I pressed the brakes when I passed by the cop, and then I got pulled over. So they were probably like, ha ha ha, this bitch just got what she deserved. So I proceed to pull to the side of the highway, or the freeway, I don't even know what it is at this point. Highway, freeway, same thing. I pull over and I'm just like, this is great. And I was actually wearing my glasses this time because I never wear my glasses when I drive, and I should wear my glasses because my license says that I need corrective lenses to drive. So luckily I was wearing those. I mean, I don't know how much cops pay attention to the corrective lenses thing and if they actually, like, you know, care that you're not wearing them, but I'm just glad I was wearing them because I could have gotten an extra ticket for that. So I pulled down my window and then the cop is like,
"Hi, I noticed you were going a little fast. You were going like 88.
And I was like, yeah. And then he was like,
Are you in a hurry? Are you running late for something?"
And this is where I messed up. I probably could have gotten away with getting a ticket, but I just suck at lying. I don't like to lie. And so when I try to lie, it doesn't really work out because I just feel guilty, so it's obvious that I'm lying. It's the whole thing with me. I can't lie to save my life, pretty much. So he asked me if I was like running late or something, and I was like,
I'm on my way back to Chico because I attend Chico State and I live in Sacramento, and I was just coming back from Thanksgiving break.
So he was like,
"Do you have class today?"
and I was like,
Yeah, I actually do.
and he's like,
"What time?"
and this is where I screwed up because I obviously didn't have class till 5:30 and it was barely like 11 something. I think it says it here on the ticket actually what time he pulled me over. It was 11:16. So obviously I had plenty of time to make it to class, and I was already like 30 minutes away from Chico. So, you know, I couldn't say, oh, I have class till 5:30 and that's why I'm speeding at 11:16 in the morning. So I quickly looked down at the clock on my car and it said somewhere around 11. And I could have easily said I had class at 12 because that would have made more sense as to why I was speeding. But my dumbass decided to say I had class at 2. Keep in mind, it was barely 11:16-ish at the time, and I was 30 minutes away from Chico. So I still had about like 3.5 hours until class at 2. So it didn't make sense as to why I was speeding if I wasn't running late for class. I could have really just said 12 o'clock, but I said 2. I kind of screwed myself over there. So then I feel like the cop kind of knew I was lying, especially because he saw me look down at the clock. So he's like, okay. And then he asked me for my license and my registration and all this stuff, and I give it to him. Then he goes back to his car and he's like, you know, writes everything up, I guess, looks me up. I don't know what it is that they do. And I'm over here just sitting there like, hoping, come on, let's hope that he checks my record and that he sees that it's clean, that I've never gotten a ticket before, and lets me go, especially because I'm a college student. He should know I'm broke. He should just let me go with a warning. So he comes back and he has a little slip in his hand. And I'm like, oh great, he wrote the ticket. That's just fantastic. So yeah, he hands me my stuff back. He hands me the ticket. He tells me there's a phone number on there to call if I have any questions. And he's like, drive safe, be careful getting back onto the highway. And I was just like, thank you very much for caring about me getting back on the highway safe. Thank you very much for giving me a ticket, even though you know I'm a college student and you should know I'm broke and I don't have money. But all I could say was,
Thank you. I'm sorry for what I did.
and then he was like,
"It's fine."
and then I was like,
All right. Bye.
and then he was like,
Bye.
and then he walked away, and yeah, I was stuck with this tiny little slip here. After that, I just, you know, got back on the highway and drove my little butt back to Chico, and I was just stressing the whole ride home, just trying to figure out, you know, how much I was gonna have to pay. Because see, here's the thing, if you guys have never gotten a speeding ticket, they don't actually write the amount that you have to pay on the ticket. So what I did is I called. I just wanted to know how much it was gonna be, how much I was gonna have to put myself in debt for. I called them and they're like, oh, well, since you just got it today, it's still being processed, so we don't really know how much it's gonna be. You'll get something in the mail like 2 weeks from now, and you'll be able to know how much you're gonna have to pay. And so my next thing that came to mind was to, you know, look up on the internet how much I was gonna have to pay. And a lot of websites were saying that if you were going over like X amount of miles per hour faster than the speed limit, then you had to pay several different amounts. And I was going, let's see, from 60 to 88, which is what he tracked me down for. how much is that? That's 28 miles per hour that I was going faster. That's kind of a lot. So yeah, I think I saw that it was gonna be like 500 or something, and I was like panicking. But then 2 weeks pass, I get the little thing in the mail, and it's only like 300 something, so it wasn't that bad. But still, I wouldn't want to pay anything, but at least I was kind of happy that it wasn't as much as I thought it was gonna be. Moral of the story is, don't speed, I guess. I mean, I think everybody speeds at a point. I am a speeder. Even my mom says it, my friends say it, my sister says it, my dad says it. Do I speed? Yes, you know? But see, here's my theory. I think that here in the Chico area, cops are more strict on speed because there's less people here and it's a two-way highway. It's like a smaller freeway, whatever you want to call it. There's less cars, so like I feel like people speed less. So when you see a car going fast compared to all the other cars, you're obviously going to get pulled over. Plus it was raining, so I mean, I think that also kind of contributes to it. But I mean, back at home, I'm not the only one speeding. I mean, technically, I'm not even speeding back at home because everybody is going 80 miles an hour, 85 miles an hour. So, like, if everybody else is doing it, like, you're not gonna be the only one that gets pulled over for it. And the cop isn't gonna pull one person over when everybody else is going the same speed. So, I think that's what happened. So, I guess my advice would be to, I guess, go with the speed limit that everybody else is going with. I don't even know what I'm saying. Point is, I speed sometimes, I'm sorry. Also, my dad said, he did tell me this actually. For his job, he drives, you know, all over California, and he just drives like regular work trucks. He's like, I tend to drive about 80 miles an hour all over California, and I have never once gotten pulled over for speeding. The reason why you got pulled over is because you're driving a bright red Mustang. And when a cop sees a bright red Mustang driving over the speed limit, they're bound to pull them over. So that was his theory as to why I got pulled over. But then again, I've never gotten pulled over before. So I think maybe that kind of had to do with it. But I also feel like the fact that here in Chico, people speed less, there's less cars, you know, they're gonna be stricter on speed compared to bigger cities like Sacramento or the Bay Area where everybody's speeding. You're not gonna get pulled over unless you're like super speedy. Point is, I got a ticket, I have to pay for it. That's what happened. That's my story. It happens. It happens to everybody. If you got a speeding ticket, it's okay. Everybody gets a speeding ticket at a point. Maybe not everybody, but for the most part, or at least some form of ticket, you know, it doesn't have to be a speeding ticket. I'm gonna have to take traffic school, which is amazing. If you guys have like questions about how the ticket process works, pretty much you get this little slip and then you wait about 2 weeks and then you get the actual like notice, I guess, that you have to pay through the mail. It says the amount, it says what you did, it says all that stuff. They actually wrote down my license plate wrong, so I'm wondering if I can like get away with it because he didn't write my license plate down right, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. But yeah, you get it, it says the amount, it says how much you have to pay extra if you want to do traffic school. And trust me, if you got a speeding ticket, you do want to do traffic school if you get the option, because that will take off any points off your record, so you'll still have a clean record and your insurance won't go up. I've heard that traffic school is only like $5 online, so shouldn't be that bad. You do have to pay the court an extra $50 or something aside from the amount of your ticket. But I mean, if you can pay $50 to have a clean record and not have to pay extra for your insurance, go for it, because trust me, your bank account will thank you later. But yeah, that was my story on my first and hopefully last speeding ticket ever. Hope you guys enjoyed this story, and don't speed. Yeah, okay, I will see you guys next time I remember to record. Bye!